Hi everyone, it's Amanda with Accomplished Canines Dog Training, and I wanted to pop on tonight to let you guys in on a little secret. One thing I've encountered quite a bit this week when I'm working with my private clients is I have someone tell me that their dog is stubborn. So when I hear that, my trainer mind goes to a couple different places. First of all, I want to assure you that dogs are not acting in ways to be malicious or defiant or to purposefully make your life difficult. Those are human characteristics, but dogs they don't think that way. They don't have ulterior motives. So that's one thing that I want to start with. Sometimes it's easy to feel that way if you've come in and you've asked your dog to do something, or you've found a mess on the carpet after you've been gone for a while. Sometimes it feels like, maybe my dog is doing this out of spite or because he's mad at me. I want to assure you that he's not. Those are human characteristics. Those are not applicable to dogs. So we'll start there. So that's one place my brain goes. The other place my brain goes when someone tells me that they have a stubborn dog is one of two places. So sometimes it feels like our dog is stubborn when they don't really understand what we want. So maybe sometimes your dog can do something under certain circumstances, but they can't repeat that behavior when you're in a new place. So sometimes that can feel like they're being stubborn because I've seen you do it before. You sat for me at home, you did all your tricks at home, but for whatever reason, in the middle of the party, when I want to show off your tricks, you're not doing it. When dogs learn things, they learn very specifically. So your dog can learn at home when there's no one else around, no distractions. They can perform all their tricks like pros. Totally get it, no big deal. But when we take them to a new place or we start asking them to perform in front of strange people, other dogs, all of, whatever the situation calls for, those are different circumstances that unless we've practiced under those circumstances, sometimes our dogs just don't understand, right? There's more layers to the environment than they're used to dealing with. So sometimes that can cause something that feels like stubbornness from dogs, but in actuality, it's just them not quite understanding what we want. So that tells me we need some more training to be done under those circumstances so that our dog does understand what we want them to do and can do it reliably. So no big deal. That's an easy fix, training fix. The other place my brain goes when someone tells me that they have a stubborn dog is, well, what's the paycheck that we're offering this dog for doing this job in front of, in maybe a different circumstance than they're used to? Sometimes we expect them to do it just because we ask them to. Well, because I said so doesn't work so great with humans, and it really does not work with dogs, right? Our dog is not going to do something consistently just because we ask them to. We need to offer something in return for them doing things our way. So sometimes, I'll give you an example. This is my dog Gracie here in the background. She's a French bulldog. She's sleeping right now. When she was a puppy and we were working on her recall training at the park, I started out using just the normal training treats that you can get at the pet store. Sorry about that. Wiley's shaking off back there. They're the little squidgy ones that come in the jar, and she would eat them fine at home, or sometimes even in training class she would eat them fine. But when we were practicing at the park, the smells that she was sniffing, interacting with new people, checking out other dogs, trying to find bunnies, those activities were way more interesting to her than coming back to me and eating a little squidgy dog treat that she could get pretty much any other time that she wanted. So it's not that she didn't understand what I wanted her to do, but in that moment, she was telling me the paycheck that I was offering for doing a good job wasn't worth it to her, right? Just like for us, there's a reason that we work hard in school, right? Because the point is to get a better job. What's the point of working hard if you end up with a job that doesn't pay well or doesn't support you in the way that you want to live? Dogs are no different. So what I learned from Gracie is that if I wanted her to come away from cool smells or other people or other dogs at the park, I needed to up the value of the reward that I was offering. So what that looked like for her is maybe I got a toy out. She really loved chasing balls when she was little. So I would bring a tennis ball with me and we would play ball. So if you came back to me, I'll throw the ball for you and we'll play and have a good time. So that was one reward that I switched out for the regular little dog treats that we were using. I also used really yummy food. So the dog treats she could get whenever she wanted. Chicken or steak, those were not available all the time. So what I did is, if she did a good job at the park, I would pull out the chicken or the steak. And all of a sudden I had a dog that was more than happy to come away from cool smells at the park to see what I wanted, right? It was no problem. Came back to me every single time. And the more that we practiced like that, the more her recall got even better. And now, you know, she's almost 11 now. She's 10 and a half. So she's had a lot of practice with her recall, but it's really good. It's almost to the point where I don't really even need to call her because she's always right there with me, waiting for an opportunity to get a really cool snack or for me to pull out her ball and throw it for her. So those are just some things I wanted to highlight for you guys, because I know sometimes, like I said, it's really common to feel like your dog is doing something out of spite, or because they're quote unquote mad at you, or they're just being defiant. The next time that thought pops into your head, I want you to take a second and see if, well, I want you to ask yourself two questions. First, have you practiced this skill in the environment that you're asking for now? So have you practiced a recall at the park away from really cool distractions? If the answer is no, then maybe your dog just needs a little bit more training in order to function the way that you want them to in those environments. Okay, that's an easy fix, right? Super easy. Go do the training that you're doing at home, just take it to the park. The other question I want you to ask yourselves is, what are you offering for them to do things your way, right? What could you offer instead that might perk them up a little bit and get them more interested in playing the game with you? So that's my homework for you. Next time you run into a situation where that thought pops in your head of just, oh my gosh, this dog is so stubborn, stop and ask yourself those questions and see if there's something that you can do to help them be more successful and so that everyone's happy in the long run.